नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः Hare Krishna, Prabhujis and Matajis. Today we will be studying from chapter number 23, and the chapter is titled Devahūti's Lamentation. I have to share the screen. Okay. Do you remember what was the last chapter? Yes. Marriage of Kardamuni and Devahūti. Last chapter. And today's the chapter is titled Devahūti's Lamentation, and it is also called in Gita Press Gorakhpur. They say Kardamuni and Devahūti ka Vihar. What you call in today's word honeymoon. So एक बहुत समझने वाली बात है, शुकदेव गोस्वामी परीक्षित महाराज को श्रीमद् भागवतम सुना रहे हैं और वो शरीर छोड़ने वाले हैं। 7 दिन में उनकी मृत्यु निश्चित है. He is about to leave his body. So the point that I am trying to make is so that we understand with the more we hear this, why would he tell somebody who is about to die about, honeymoon of some? So there is a greater significance here. That is what we need to understand, because ultimately it has to lead to the love of Godhead, the surrender to the Supreme Lord. So what happens after that? That is the point. So this chapter culminates into lamentation of Mother Devahūti. You understand? Even after all of that, she is lamenting. What have I done? So that is the lamentation. And so let's recite this verse together. Please repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Saham Bhagavato Nunam. Saham Bhagavato Nunam. Vanchita Mayaya Dridham. Vanchita Mayaya Dridham. Yat tvam prapya vimuktidam.
Yat tvam vimuktidam prapya.
Yat tvam muktidam prapya.
Yat tvam vimuktidam prapya.
Yat tvam muktidam prapya.
Yat tvam muktidam prapya.
Namo muksheya bandhana.
Namo muksheya bandhana.
Namo muksheya bandhana.
Namo muksheya bandhana.
This has to be our prayer. This is everyone's prayer, all of us. So with that, let's listen. Okay, word by word translation. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Please repeat. Sa.
Sa.
That very person. Aham.
Aham.
I am.
I am.
Bhagavata.
Bhagavata.
Of the Lord.
Of the Lord.
Nunam.
Nunam.
Surely.
Surely.
Vanchita.
Vanchita.
Cheated.
Cheated.
Mayaya.
Maya.
By the illusory energy.
Maya.
Dridham.
Dridham.
Solidly.
Solidly.
Yat.
Yat.
Because. Tvam. You. Vimuktidam.
Vimuktidam.
Who gives liberation.
Who gives liberation.
Prapya.
Prapya.
Having attained.
Having attained.
Na mumuksheya.
Na mukshaya.
I haven't sought liberation.
I haven't sought liberation.
Bandhanat.
Bandhana.
From material bondage.
From material bondage.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Please repeat. My Lord.
My Lord.
Surely.
Surely.
I have been. Solidly cheated.
Solidly cheated.
By the insurmountable. Illusory. Energy. Of the Supreme Personality. Of Godhead. For. In spite of. Having obtained. Your association. Which gives liberation. From material bondage. I did not seek. Such liberation. Yeah. So you understand the meaning now? So Mother Devahūti is lamenting. She is lamenting, and she is lamenting for what? That having attained your association. Her husband Kardam Muni, who is son of Brahmaji, exalted personality, who had the darshan of Bhagavan, direct darshan. Bhagavan came to see him actually. He did not have to go anywhere. He was just in his hermitage, and Lord came to see him. Having attained his association, she is lamenting that I did not sought for liberation. So surely I have been cheated. We may not be that fortunate to get the association of someone like Kardam Rishi, but at least there is some association available through books, through temples, through scriptures. So that association, so that's what she is saying after having done all of that. So let's please, maybe we can all recite this verse one by one. Let's repeat. Recite with the soul, please.
Saham bhagavato nunam.
Saham bhagavato nunam.
Vanchita maya
Vanchita maya tridham.
Yatvam vimuktidam prapya.
Yatvam muktidam prapya.
Moksha bandhata.
Namo muksheya bandhana. Please keep going. One by one.
Saham bhagavato nunam.
Saham bhagavato nunam.
Vanchita maya bridam.
Vanchita maya dridham.
Yatvam vimuktidam prapya.
Yatvam muktidam prapya.
Namo mokshe bandhana.
Namo muksheya bandhana. Saham Bhagavato Nunam Vanchita Mayaya Dridham Yatvam Muktidam Prapya Namo Moksheya Bandhana.
Saham Bhagavato Nanaya
Saham Bhagavato Nunam
Vanchita Mayaya Dhanam
Vanchita Mayaya Dridham
Yattavam Vibhukutam Prapaya
Yatvam Muktidam Prapya
Namam Sakaya Vandhana
Namo Moksheya Bandhana. Mataji, keep going if you want to try. Saham Bhagavato Nunam Vanchita Mayaya Dridham Yatvam Muktidam Prapya Namo Moksheya Bandhana. Saham Bhagavato Nunam Vanchita Mayaya Dridham Yatvam Muktidam Prapya Namo Moksheya Bandhana. Saham Bhagavato Nunam Vanchita Mayaya Dridham Yatvam Muktidam Prapya Namo Moksheya Bandhana. Saham Bhagavato Nunam Vanchita Mayaya Dridham Yatvam Muktidam Prapya Namo Moksheya Bandhana. Mataji is online. Do you want to try recite?
Prabhuji, shall I? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Saham Bhagavato Nunam
Saham Bhagavato Nunam
Vanchita Mayaya Dridham
Vanchita Mayaya Dridham
Yatvam Muktidam Prapya
Yatvam Vimuktidam Prapya
Namo Moksheya Bandhanat.
Namo Moksheya Bandhana.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Yes, Mataji, आप try करेंगे.
साह भागवतो नूनम
Saham Bhagavato Nunam
वाचिता मायया दृढ़म
Vanchita Mayaya Dridham
यत्वा विमुक्तिदं प्राप्य
Yatvam Vimuktidam Prapya
नमो मुक्षेय बंधनात्।
Namo Moksheya Bandhana.
हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. Please hear the purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada की जय. अब समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. Let's try to understand what is the inspiration for this verse. An intelligent man should utilize good opportunities. The first opportunity is the human form of life, and the second opportunity is to take birth in a suitable family where there is cultivation of spiritual knowledge. This is rarely obtained. Kavaho karuna karunar dehi det is bin hetu sane. Bhagwan Ram. This is spoken by Lord Ram. उत्तरकांड में, रामायण में भगवान राम ये बात बोल रहे हैं. लॉर्ड राम इज स्पीकिंग हिमसेल्फ. कबहु करुणा कर नर देहि, देत ईस बिना हेतु सने. That Supreme Lord who is your well-wisher without any hetu, who does not have any purpose from you. He is so merciful, who is so merciful to us. And कबहु को करुणा, पता नहीं कौन से जन्म का हमारा पुण्य था, वो फलीभूत हुआ और मनुष्य जन्म लिया. तो भगवान राम उपदेश दे रहे हैं उत्तरकांड में. He called his brothers. एक बार प्रभु राम बुलाए, गुरु द्विज पुरवासी सब आए. Lord Ram invited everyone. Guru Vasishtha ji was there. All the Brahmanas were there. All the Ayodhya Puri ke jo vasi the the residents of Ayodhya, they all came. And then Lord Ram is giving this instruction that make the best use of this human life. So that's what Prabhupada is saying here. The first opportunity is to take birth, is the human form of life, and the second opportunity to take birth in a suitable family where there is cultivation of spiritual knowledge. This is rarely obtained. So you are all special, and you're sitting here hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. The greatest opportunity is to have the association of a saintly person. Devahūti was conscious that she was born as the daughter of an emperor. She was sufficiently educated and cultured, and at last she got Karda Muni, a saintly person, and a great yogi as her husband. Still, if she did not get liberation from the entanglement of material energy, then certainly she would be cheated by the insurmountable illusory energy. Actually, the illusory material energy is cheating everyone. People do not know what they are doing when they worship the material energy in the form of goddess Kali or Durga for material boons. They ask, Mother, give me great riches, give me a good wife, give me fame, give me victory. But such devotees of goddess Maya or Durga do not know that they are being cheated by that goddess. Material achievement is actually no achievement, because as soon as one is illusioned by the material gifts, he becomes more and more entangled, and there is no question of liberation. One should be intelligent enough to know how to utilize material assets for the purpose of spiritual realization. That is called Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga. Whatever we have, we should use as a service to the Supreme Person. It is advised in Bhagavad Gita, Swakarmana tam avyarchaya. One should try to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead by one's assets. There are many forms of service to the Supreme Lord, and anyone can render service unto him according to the best of his ability. Srila Bhaktivedanta purports ki, let's do Mangalacharan, and then we will discuss further. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Bhaktamlam Shri Gurum Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Pitantam Sajivam Savadetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna
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 Hare
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 Hare Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama Hare
Rama Hare Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhutayir Mahadhir Yaima Puro Vibho Nirmaya Shete Yadamosha Purusha Bhumte Gunacho Dashisho Dashatmakam Solam Kasrishta Bhagavan Vachamsi Me Shri Krishna Sharanam Sharanagatam Katha Amritam Satata Pibatam Bhakti Vedanta Marga Pantanam Sarvaloka Rishide Janma Prasannam Sarvaloka Rishideva Janma Prasannam. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji. May the Supreme Lord decorate my tongue. May the right words come at the right time. And may we are truly able to glorify the Supreme Lord, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, and serve all the Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna. So, in the last chapter, Prabhuji Mataji, we were saying that Manu Maharaj brings his daughter to Kardam Rishi and he tells him that I have brought my daughter and she wants to marry you because she has heard from Naradji about your glories. So I have brought her. And then he praises Kardam Rishi. And then Kardam Rishi then says, yes, I desire to marry. And I also like your daughter because she has so many good qualities. She's so beautiful. She's the daughter of your daughter, Manu Maharaj. But then he puts one condition. He sets one condition. He says that, yes, I will marry your daughter. Ato bhajishye samayena sadhavim yavat tejo bibhriyad atmano me. He's saying that I will marry your daughter and I will accept her as my good wife. But until such time, only until she bears my child in her womb. Yavat tejo bibhriyad atmano. In her womb until such time she holds my child, and then I will. उसके बाद क्या करोगे? Then he says, Ato dharman paramhansyan. That same dharma, so religious principle which is glorified by Paramhansas, Shukla Proktan, which is spoken by the Supreme Lord himself, I will follow. And then Manu Maharaj looked at his daughter, Mother Devahūti. Manu Maharaj looked at Mata Shatrupa, and they were in agreement. Their Mata Devahūti was okay with that condition of Kardam Rishi. And then Manu Maharaj and Shatrupa, they leave Mother Devahūti there in the ashram of Kardam Rishi, and then they leave. Then both of them leave, and in the last chapter, then we spoke about the description of how Manu Maharaj lived his life for 71 Chaturyugas. Right? But now in this chapter, we're going to talk about the lamentation and also vihar of Kardam Rishi and Mother Devahūti. Now, Maitreya Rishi tells Vidurji in this chapter, he says, Pitribhyam prasthite sadhavi patin ingit kovida. Yeah. Nityam. Yeah. Nityam paryacharyat pritaya bhavani iva bhavam prabhu. Right? Now he is telling that Pitribhyam prasthite, after her parents left, Sadhavi, he is saying Mother Devahūti, who is Sadhavi, because she was learned, she knew all the religious principles, she was a chaste wife. He is addressing her as Sadhavi. After the parents left, that Sadhavi, Patin Ingit Kovida. Kardam Muni, his dincharya was, he will get up, he will perform homa, he will do his puja. It was not as if like Lord Shiva that he went into complete trance. He had his dincharya, he was doing his sadhana, meditation, everything, but he was living like a one personal life. He was not talking, interacting with the wife so much. But Ingit Kovida, Ingit means ishara, just indication. You say water, drink water. And after some time you learn, he's preparing for homa, now he's going to need fire, he's going to need firewood, he's going to need flowers. So like this Ingit Kovida, she was understanding the signals of ishara jo karte hain. Like this, she was a nityam. Nityam means without any break. Not like today you are in good mood, husband asks water, you give him water. Tomorrow you are in good mood, husband says water. Tap is there, glass is there, get yourself water. Not like that. Nityam, without any break. Or one day you bring glass of water and you throw it, like pile pani. Nityam, not pritya, paricharya, as in service, just always in service in mode. Pritya, loving. How? Example, he's giving a Bhavani iva bhavam prabhu. Who is Bhavani? Mother Parvati. How Mother Parvati is serving Lord Shiva, like that Mother Devahūti started serving Kardam Muni from the day parents left. An example is given of Mother Parvati. Why? Because Mother Parvati is also daughter of king. And Lord Shiva, he did not have a place to stay. He is staying under the tree. No clothes, no gifts to offer, nothing. But Mother Parvati serves Lord Shiva like no one else. That he is my everything. With that mood, she is serving all the time. So that is why Mother Devahūti is also daughter of a king. She is the princess. And now she is married to somebody who is living in a hermitage, not even a proper house. So similarly with that mood, she is serving. And now Maitreya describes some of the qualities, how she is serving. So he says, Vishrambhena. Yeah? Vishrambhena is with full intimacy. Vishrambhena Gauravena Damena Cha. Vishrambhena means intimacy, or Gauravena means with great respect. Now within husband and wife, Srila Prabhupada very clearly describes. Sorry, we try to glorify Mother Devahūti. I'm not giving you a husband-wife relationship. Please don't take it in a different context. Yeah. So we just want to see the greatness of Mother Devahūti, greatness of that association, of that relationship. Right? And then you will see how it culminates towards the end. Yeah. So let's appreciate that. Even though she is the daughter of a prince, she has no proper place to stay. Suddenly she is finding herself no maid servants, nothing. There is no servant. She has to go and fetch some food from the forest to eat, whatever gets, drink water from the sarovar, from the lake. No fresh water supply, nothing. But still, how she is serving the husband, that is the important thing. So he says, Vishrambhena Gauravena. Vishrambhena means with full intimacy. So there is an intimacy in husband and wife. But that intimacy is not like familiarity breeds contempt. Not that kind of intimacy, you understand? Sometimes, that's the problem in most of love marriages. Before love marriage, they have a great respect for each other. After the marriage, now husband is roaming around in the house with his banyan and normal kapra. Before the marriage, he will do nicely combed hairs, he will go perfume, etc. And then they think he's always like this. And when you come in the house, you get a shock, reality shock. Oh. When you used to come to meet me every day, you were always nicely dressed, perfume and this, but in my house, you saying, oh man, you're wearing same clothes twice, like, all those kind of things. So the point is intimacy. Intimacy, that intimacy is connected with great respect. We are always mindful of our position. We are always mindful of our position. So like that, the main, she had controlled her senses. The senses were controlled. Daman. Under her, she was not, senses were not overpowering her. She has overpowered her senses. Right? So, Vishrambhena, Gauravena, Damena cha. And then what she was doing? Shushrusaya sohridena, Vacha cha madhuraya, Vacha madhuraya cha bho. Bho as in he's addressing, O Vidurji. He's telling, O Vidur. And then Shushrusaya, she was serving him. How? Vishrambhena, Gauravena, Damena, and Vacha madhuraya. With sweet words. Sometimes wife is serving the husband, but she takes Maun Vrat. She won't talk to him. To express her anger. You don't talk, you stop talking. You will do every service. You need water at this time, she will put the water and don't talk to you. No. Vacha madhuraya. So please understand, she is the princess. And she has come to serve. Hare Krishna, please come. She has come and she is serving. Now, while she is serving, there are some other things that we have to do, or that someone has to do to be able to serve like that. And then Maitreyi further tells Vidurji that Visrajya Kamam. Visrajya is in chhod dena. She dropped Kamam, lusty desires. She had dropped the lusty desires. Kamam, Dambham. Dambham means what? Pride. You have something, but you are showing something else. There is no duplication. She had genuinely suppressed or left the desires. She was not pretending. Right? Visrajya, Kamam, Dambham, Cha, Dvesham. Envy. There was no envy. If you want to render that level of service, then these things you have to try to drop. Understand? Sometimes we say, I want to serve, I have love. But these underlying things, they don't let us serve. So she was serving, but Visrajya, by dropping these things, desires, pride, enviousness, lobham, greed. You want more for you all the time. Greed, agham, sinless activities, right? Madam, vanity. So all of this she dropped. So what all did she drop? Kama, lusty desires, dambham, pride, dvesham, envy, then lobham, greed, yeah? Then agham, sinful activities, and then madam, vanity. She dropped all of these things. And then by dropping all of these things, then also there is furthermore required. And then she was apramatta. Pramatta means, matta is called, elephant is called matta. How does elephant work? How does elephant go? If he's walking in the street, what will he do? He will trample. He will pick up a tree, uproot it, throw like this. You know, similarly, if you are given something to serve, you're given dal to serve, you will take dal with you, you will run with the bucket, you will spill dal all over the place. You're serving someone, you just put it onto this, then you will spill things around. That's called matta. But she's apramatta. Same. Uddata. Uddata means always ready to serve. Uddat. Always willing to serve. Not as in, oh, I have to serve him now. कहाँ से मेरे गले में पड़ गया? कहाँ से गले में पड़ गया? मेरे भाग फूटे. You know, all those emotions come out sometimes, right? No. Yes. So no, she was Uddat. Nityam, once again Nityam. Always, always sane. Always prepared to serve. Right? Nityam. Right? And then Tejiyam. Tejiyam Santoshayat. And considering her husband to be the greatest, to be the superior, Toshayat, for his happiness, for him to be satisfied. She was always prepared to serve. So with this mood, Prabhuji Mataji, she was serving. So the point here is, again, important thing to understand, for her service is recognized by the Supreme Lord. If you are serving your husband at a material level, it may look like serving another living entity. But at different level, you are serving a Jeev. You are serving a living entity, and Supreme Lord is watching you serve. That's all. It is not him or her who is going to reward you for that service. It is the Supreme Lord who is going to reward you through him or through someone else. Understand? My Guru Maharaj says, sometimes even if the husband is completely fool, a wife should take care of him like on child, like they take care of their own son. Once again, please don't take it otherwise. I'm not trying to talk about that relationship as well. We're talking at a different level. I said in the beginning also. Parikshit Maharaj is about to leave his body in 7 days. And by third canto, I think it is only second day now. Why would he tell them about the vihar or so-called honeymoon of Kardan Rishi and Mother Devahūti? There is a great lesson there for all of us. That is the mood. Yeah. So that's the point. Mother Devahūti, she dropped everything, and with the wholeheartedly, she was serving Kardan Rishi, who's a great personality. And now as she was serving him, so Maitreya Rishi says to Vidurji, then by doing this service, she was so devoted to her husband. Anuvratam. Anuvratam means as a duty. Vrat, you understand, a vow, right? As a vow she was serving. And by doing that service, now her bodily strength was dwindling. Yeah. Shama, you know, Kshamata. Shamta, there is a word, Shamta means bodily strength. She had become weak. Shamam, Karshitam, Vrat Charya. By her service, now the effect on her. Visualize, she is staying, and it went for many years, many years. Kardan Rishi was busy with his sadhana. He wasn't checking whether she's eating, whether she's got food. Rather, she was serving him, and whatever she gets, she gets some water, she will drink the water. If she gets some remnant fruit of his puja and yagna, she will honor that. That's how she was surviving. Otherwise, for many years, she served him like that. And how she served like that? Maitreya Rishi tells, Daivad Gariyasa. She considered him even superior than the demigods. Superior than the gods. Daivad Gariyasa. And he also says he had some expectations also. With some asha she was serving. We'll talk about that. But she was so much devoted, and she was serving him with what mood? And he says Manavin. Manavin means Manu's daughter, who is Manu Maharaj's daughter. She was considering him greater than the demigods, devs, and while rendering that service, her bodily strength was weak. She became weak, and her body was emancipated through performing that service. And now when Kardam Rishi saw that, now Kardam Rishi, one day he looked at her and he felt so happy. And he says, Vacha Gadgadaya. As in Gadgad. He became so happy. Gadgadaya Ruddhaya Gira. Gadgad as in when we speak with some emotion, sometimes my throat chokes. Have you noticed that? If you're speaking with someone out of compassion, your throat chokes. So Kardam Rishi looked at her and his throat was choking. And then he says, Tusto aham adya. He says, I am so satisfied with your service. And you have performed this service paramaya, paraya, bhaktaya cha. You have bhakti. He's used the word bhakti. That you have rendered the greatest service, the supreme service with full devotion. I am so pleased with you. And he says to her that this body, Yo dehina ayamati vasu hritasa. He says, Yo dehina, this body which is most dear to the embodied people. Like body is the most dear to all of you, all the living entities. Right? He says, Yo dehina, this body which is very dear to all the living entities. But to serve me, anvekshita samuchita shapitum madarthe. You haven't taken care of your body. You even neglected your own body. Shapitum madarthe. To serve me, you have neglected your body. You become so weak and so frail. And I'm very pleased with you. And now, please focus on the point. And now he starts telling him, Ye me swadharma niratasya tapa samadhi vidyatma yoga vijita bhagavat prasada tanevate madanusevanaya varuddha Trishtim prapasya vitarami bhayana shoka. Now Kardam Rishi tells her that you have served me with so much intimacy, with so much care. Now that after performing my sadhana, vidya, tap, samadhi, right? While swadharma niratasya, while I was busy performing my sadhana, I was performing my religious duties, right? By doing tap, sadhana. And from that, vidya, atma yoga, vijita, from that, whatever I have achieved, yoga siddhi, whatever I have achieved, how I have achieved? By Bhagavat Prasada, by pleasing the Supreme Lord. And he says, now, Mad Anusevanaya Avaruddhan. You have already obtained those achievements by your service. So this is Shastric principle. If husband is performing or if other partner is performing the spiritual service and you are supporting him, then you automatically get the benefit of it. So that's what Kardam Rishi is saying, that you have already achieved that. Now question comes, what is the achievement? What has she achieved? So he says two things. Abhayan, ashokan. You become fearless and you don't have to lament. You are free from hankering. This is the achievement. And he also says, drashtim prapasya. You are not able to see this. But with Rami, I will give you that transcendental vision to realize those achievements. That yoga siddhi. This is the siddhi. You become fearless and you become free from lamentation. Now Kardam Rishi tells her that this is what you have already obtained. And then he also tells her that what is the point in getting other achievements. You know how you write a will, pre-nuptial agreements. We will get this, I will get 50% of this. So Kardam Rishi clarifies, no matter how many legislations how many wills, how many laws you make, right? So he says in that, Anne punar bhagavato bhruva, we which, yeah, Anne punar bhagavato bhruva, right? He says other material gains, other material achievements, what is the benefit of talking about other material gains, which are, he says, bhruva. Bhruva ud with bhramba, as in bhruva as in eyebrows. You know, just by blink of the eyebrow or just by moving the eyelids, you know, as we say, if Krishna moves his eye, the whole universe can turn upside down. So that's what he says. What is the use of those material gains, which gains just by the movement of the eyes of the Supreme Lord, who is Urukramasya. Urukram. Who is Urukram? Vaman Bhagavan. His other name is Urukram. Because he took one step. Kram as in step. In one step he measured the whole universe, whole earth. Urukramasya. Kima anukramasya. Vibhramshatan rachanartha. That whole thing gets destroyed just by movement of his eyebrow. Just if he looks, you know, sometimes people say भगवान की नजर सीधी होनी चाहिए. सीधी होनी चाहिए मतलब सब कुछ ठीक है. जैसे भगवान ने टेढ़ा देखा मतलब गया से. The Lord, the way he sideways glance, that is very dangerous. In Vrindavan pastime it's different. But otherwise they say भगवान की नजर सीधी मतलब थोड़ा सा you get out of his vision, or put it this way. But then he says that what is the purpose of getting other material achievements, right? Which can be destroyed in a moment. So there is no good about that. And he offers Mother Devahūti that I will give you what I have achieved. And as Kardam Rishi speaks like this, now Mother Devahūti realizes that Kardam Rishi is very happy. He is very pleased. She looks at him. She looks at him smilingly and with a little bit of hesitation. Now she tells him, yes, I can understand. Radham Vata. Radham as in, yes, I know you have achieved, as in we have achieved or you have achieved this yoga sadhana. Yeah. But she says, Sakrid Anga Sango Bhuyad Gari Yasi Guna Stava Satina. But she says, before the marriage, you had made a promise. Sakrid Anga Sango, that we will have a relationship, and from our bodily relationship we will have child. And she says, for a chaste woman, or to be a wife of such a great personality, it will be more glorious for me to have your child. Yes. So see what Kardam Rishi is offering her. Here's, you've got to understand what Kardam Rishi offered her, that you have already achieved. I will give you transcendental vision to see those achievements. But instead she is reminding him that no, you made a promise. I know, Radham Bata. I know we have achieved that. Yoga Maya Adhipe. You have achieved. You are a great mystic. You have achieved that through your sadhana, but you have made a promise. So please, I want to be the mother of your child. And Kardam Rishi said, okay, we'll make the arrangement for that. And then she looks at herself. And then she looks at the hut, hermitage. She said, my dear Lord, please make all the arrangement. Then he asked, what arrangements? Please make all the arrangement for food. Please get all the things so that my emaciated body can be recovered. I need some clothes. I need some ornaments. Please make all those arrangements. And not just that. Bhavanam Sadrasha Vichakshava. Please also think of an appropriate house, bhavan, for that. Because this hermitage is in the mode of goodness. And our association will happen in mode of passion. Right? Please make an arrangement. Nice arrangement. Please give me a house. Right? And then Kardam Rishi, by listening to her desire, he was pleased. And he wanted to satisfy. And that is the duty. Because she had earned that by serving. He offered her. And essentially she has already achieved it because through that service. Right? But this point, I hope you understood the point. You noted that point. He offered her to give her the Divya Drishti, transcendental vision to see those achievements. But she's reminding him of that, no, first make arrangement for a house. And he made that arrangement. And then he says, with his Yog Maya, with his Yog Sadhana, he was such a great mystic. He just thought of a great mansion, and suddenly a great mansion appeared there. He says, Vimanam Kamagam. Viman is in that aerial mansion appeared there, which is Kamagam, which will move by the desires. Man ki gati se chalne. You just think it, and then it will be there. You don't have to make any effort. Just thinking and it will appear. So like this, that appeared. And then that further describes, Maitreyi further says, that Viman, that palace is like Sarva Kam Dugham Divyam. Divya. It can fulfill all the desires. Not, it was a bhavan. It was an aerial mansion with all the facilities. Not just that, it can travel with the desire, what you think of it, but it can also provide all the everything there that you need. Sarva Kama Dugham Divya. And then he goes on to describe that palace. He says that palace is like the walls are made up of diamonds. The floor are emerald. The doors are made up of gold. It is a 7-story mansion. Prabhupada says, so the multi-story is not a new thing. The skyscrapers, they used to exist then also. Skyscraper. It had special gardens. Rose garden. It has pond with lotuses. There are pigeons. There is Hans. What do you say Hans in English? Swans. There are pigeons. There are swans flying around. There are dummy pigeons. Now real pigeons come and they talk to dummy pigeons, which is making chirping noise. Very playful environment. Similarly, dummy swan and real swan. Real swan is coming and talking to dummy swan. Various gardens with different kind of swings. The rooms have different beds. And beds are bedecked with all kind of decoration, windows, doors, everything. And it was such a beautiful arrangement that says, even Kardam Rishi Vismapanam Iva Atmanam. Kardam Rishi himself got surprised. He was like thinking, oh, I didn't know I had such a power that I can create this kind of mansion. Even he himself was amazed by seeing that mansion. And now that mansion is arranged there, and he looks at Mother Devahūti, but she doesn't look happy. He looks at Mother Devahūti. And then he realized why she's unhappy. He's a great yogi, he can read everyone's mind. Now she's thinking, my body is emancipated. I've grown so weak. I'm wearing the same sari, same garment that I was wearing when my parents left me. Years. Her hairs were like locked because she hadn't washed them. She was so busy serving. And she was dirty. And then she's wondering, how can I enter this palace? How can I enter? So she was thinking like that. But then Kardam Rishi read her mind. And Kardam Rishi told her, don't worry. He tells her, Nimajjaya asmin hriday bhiru. Idam Shukla Kritam Tirtha Ashisha Nimajjayan Asmi. Then he tells her, oh my dear wife, go and take a dip, take a bath in this sarovar, in this lake. What is the name of the sarovar? Bindu Sarovar. And why it is so auspicious?
The Lord's crimes.
Lord's tear. Lord's tear dropped into that lake. That's why it is called Bindu Sarovar. Shraddha Bindu Diya. Yeah, we sing that way. Shraddha. Ekaki Amara Nahi Paiba Hari Nam Sankirtan. Tomi Kripa Kori Shraddha Bindu Diya Deho Hari Nam Dhare. Shri Narottam Das Thakur. No, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He's glorifying his Guru that you gave me that Shraddha Bindu. So yeah. So it's called Bindu Sarovar. So Kardamrishi tells Mother Devahūti, go and take a dip into that. Bhiru is saying, don't be scared, because he could see she was scared. How can I enter into this palace? You know, sometime, how do I explain to you? You know, when we are in the village, sometime, you know, once before in India, I tell you, when they used to send us to work overseas, they would actually teach us how to eat with cutlery. So my first overseas assignment was in the UK. And when you go to UK from India, it was like you have to be wearing suit and tie. You have to be able to talk nicely. So they would actually take us into 5-star hotel for lunch, our Indian company. And they will teach us how to eat with fork and knife. So for us, going there and sitting in the 5-star hotel, it was such a great experience. You know, your eyes were wide open. You know, you feel like whether to wash the hand or whether to, you know. So same kind of experience I'm trying to tell you. So she's thinking, how can I enter this palace? So Kardamrishi tells her, don't be scared. Nimajjaya Asmin Hriday. Go and take a dip in the middle, in the heart of this sarovar, which is Shukla Kritam. Idam Shukla Kritam. This is created by the Supreme Lord Himself. And this is Tirth Ashisham. This is a great, you know, pilgrimage, place of pilgrimage, which can fulfill all the desires. Go take and dip into that. And now Mother Devahūti goes towards that sarovar. And Avivesha Saraswatya Sara. Yeah, that lake which is made up from the water of Mother Saraswati river, she took a complete dip into that sarovar. As she took a dip into that sarovar, she saw a palace underneath the water, a big house, big mansion inside the water. She saw that big palace. As she walked towards that, there were 1,000 maid servants sitting there. As they saw her coming, they all stood up. And they said, how can we serve you? We are all your servants. And then they helped her take a bath. Then they decorated her. They gave her nice ornaments. And like this, they put ointment on her body, oil, combed her hairs, gave her jewelry, gave her, bracelets, bangles, like this. And then she looked at herself in the mirror and she was amazed. She was exactly looking like when she was a princess. And now as she was there, she just thought about her husband. And the moment she thought about her husband, she appeared in front of Kardamrishi with all the 1,000 maidservants. See, this is the Yoga Shakti. This is the mystic power. She had already achieved that. That's the point Kardamrishi was saying. You have already achieved this. She had also gained all those powers. She just thought about her husband and she appeared simultaneously with all the maidservants in front of Kardamrishi. As she appeared there, Kardamrishi asked her to get onto the plane. And then they got into the aerial mansion with all the 1,000 maidservants. And then as the plane flew, then Kardamrishi took her around the whole globe. And that plane was Kamagam. Remember the word. Just by thought. I want to see this. I want to see Indra. You're in front of Indra. I want to see Kuber. You are in front of Kuber's. Kuber who is? Who is the treasurer of demigods. So they say they all live in Sumeru valleys. So that area is described as very, for a tourist, let's say, in India, you say Kashmir is the best place. Like that, similarly, that place is considered to be the topmost place where all the demigods come for Vihar. They come there for picnic with their wives, with their servants, right? So he took Mata Devahūti in that area. And the aerial mention was flying in that area. As aerial mention was flying, then it says, Maitreji tells Vidurji that it was so, due to the mystic power of Kardam Rishi was so powerful, it surpassed all the planes. There, Indra was flying in his plane, other demigods are flying in their planes. But this aerial mention of Kardam Rishi, it even went higher than all of these other, other residents. And then Maitreya Rishi makes a statement. Then he says that what is difficult, Kim dura padanam pumsam tesham udyatam chetasam. Kim dura padanam. He says, what is difficult? Dur as in what is difficult. Padanam as in to achieve. What is difficult to achieve for people who udyam chetasam, who have determination. Who have determination, and determination to do what? Yair ashrita tirth padas charano, who have determination to take shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. For them, what is the difficult to achieve? There is nothing for them difficult to achieve. Rather, once they take shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, they are like vyasana atyaya. All the material entanglements are killed. Atyaya, they are ended then and there. Oh, my dear Vidur, what is difficult for people who have strong determination? Udyatam chetasam. So that's what he's describing about Kardam Rishi. That Kardam Rishi he became so powerful. He followed the instructions of his father, so sincerely. He performed austerity to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared himself. So what is difficult for him? Nothing. He went all around the globe and he even surpassed the demigods. Even demigods were nowhere near his level of achievement in terms of pleasing the Supreme Lord. It's a very important point. Udyatam chetasam. And Tirth padas charano ashrita. If you have taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, there is nothing. You can achieve anything and everything. And like this, they went, and after many years of flying, now Kardam Rishi came back to his hermitage. The aerial mention came, and there they stayed. And there, both husband and wife, then they spent a lot of time there. Yeah. After some time, the time came, and the time flew just like that. The time flew like, he says that the many years, right? Many years just went like a moment. Now we will come into the point of Mother Devahūti's lamentation. Many years passed. 100 autumns passed in a blink of an eye. 100 autumns means 100 years. 100 years just passed like with a blink. And then she gave birth to 9 daughters. As she gave birth to 9 daughters, now Kardam Rishi started to live. What was his condition? That I will only stay with her until she bears my child in her womb. And now, as she sees Kardam Rishi is about to leave, she feels sad, and she stands up, and with her head down, she's stopping her tears from coming down. And she looks at Kardam Rishi, and then she starts saying, my dear Lord, you are going to leave. First of all, these daughters, your daughters, they have to be married. They have to be married, and after they get married, then they will go to the homes of their husbands. What about me? What about my liberation? Yeah. What about my death? How do I get out of this cycle of birth, death? Yeah. What will happen to me? What about my fearlessness? And then, as if Kardam Rishi says, but that was my promise to you. Yes, she says, Sarvam tad Bhagavan Mahyam Upo Vaha Pratishrutam Athapi me Prapannaya Abhayam Datum Arhasi. He says, yes, my dear Lord, Sarvam tad Bhagavan Mahyam. Whatever Pratishrutam, whatever you have promised, you have fulfilled all your promise. You have taken care of me, you have provided me whatever I desired. Right? Yes, you said, once you have my children, then I will go. But then she says, Athapi me prapannaya. But still I am under your shelter. I am surrendered to you. So abhayam datum arhasi. You have to make me fearless. He was making her fearless on the first day. Now she is saying, yes, you are going, but you have to make me fearless. I am still surrendered to you. And then she says, have you got your association? Yes, no. Etavatalam kalena vayati krantena me prabho indriyartha prasangena parityakta paratmana. Now her lamentation starts. Now she says, my dear Lord, etavatalam kalena, that much time. Vayati krantena me prabho. I've just wasted that time. Many years I spent with you. But I've wasted all of that time in doing what? Indriyartha prasangena, to satisfy my senses. And at what cost? Parityakta paratma. Parityakta as in, I forgo. I left aside what? Paratmana, what is my superior purpose? Which is to realize the Supreme Lord. I have left that aside. Instead, I was busy in fulfilling the desire of my senses. I have made a great mistake. Indriyartha prasangena. But then she again says to him, then she again says to Kardam Rishi, she says, yes. She says, my dear Lord, and this is all for instruction again for all of us. She says, my dear Lord, it is said that the association of asatsu, who are people who are entangled in the material thoughts, who are always engaged in the material sense gratification, getting their association is the reason for the bondage. Yes, I've heard that. Their association becomes the reason of bondage, but it is also said, that even if you make the association of saintly persons unknowingly, knowingly you make association with material people, or unknowingly make you association with material people, that become reason of bondage. But even if unknowingly I make association of the saintly person, sa eva sadhu shukrito ni sangatvaya kalpate. The scripture says that same association, unknowingly, if the same association is done with the saintly persons, it becomes the reason for liberation. It helps them to the liberation. But I am not liberated. So please, abhayam datum arhasi. Please do something for me. And then she's still lamenting. And then she goes on to say, Neha yat karma dharmaya viragaya na kalpate na tirth pad sevayai jivan api mrato hisa. He says, Na iha yat karma dharmaya. if all the actions that we perform here is not dovetailed with the religious principles. If your activities, Prabhuji Mataji, is not linked to the religious principles, right, is not helping you to get closer to the Supreme Lord. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranito. Right? Yamaraj is instructing his messengers that that is a religious principle which is prescribed by the Supreme Lord himself. Yeah? Swadharma anutishtatho pumsam. Yeah? If you saying I'm situated in my dharma, but Vishwaksena kathasu ya na utpadayed yati ratim shramevi kevalam. If you are involved, engaged in your religious duties, but by engage in your religious duties, if you don't develop rati, attraction to the pastimes, hearing the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, then it is considered a mere labor. So all our activities are useless, fruitless labor, and we will have to limit. So that's what Mother Devahūti is saying, Neha yat karma dharmaya. If your work is not related to the religious principles, and from that religious principles also, viragaya kalpate, if the detachment is not coming, if by your own actions, if you say, Prabhu, I am performing so much sadhana, I am doing this service, I am doing this service, but if the detachment is not coming in your own mind, if you are detached to your services, we have seen people fighting for the services. They get so attached to the service. As you know, as low as people say, I didn't get to sing. I used to sing. Once, Guru Maharaj was saying that once in Mumbai temple, after the arati, the lamp we take, there was this new person. He was given the lamp to take around. He was giving lamp to everyone, and there was this Prabhu who was serious, senior person, and he called him. And then he called another person also. He called like two people. And he's saying this person, जो वहां का look after करता था, उसने कहा इसको तुमने बताया नहीं सर्विस कैसे करनी. You haven't taught him how to serve. He said, what happened? He said, I'm the senior person here. He should have shown the lamp to me first. No, we take arati. Real thing. He said he should have shown the lamp to me first. And then that person says, Prabhu, sorry, galti ho gayi. Mujhe serial number nahi pata tha. I did not know what serial number you are. But please forgive me, I made a mistake. To this extent, we are attached. Then what is the purpose? Na viragaya kalpate. If detachment is not happening, you can make self-check every day yourself. That's why Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said before you sleep, hit your head with your shoes 100 times before you sleep. When you wake up, then again hit your head 100 times today morning. Okay, whole day, I should not do this, I should not do this. Now, this is how you train your brain. Train your brain, right? It rhymes. Train the brain. Right? Na viragaya kalpate. And third thing is, if with that attachment, na tirth pad sevaye, if you haven't served the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, from whose feet Mother Ganges is coming. That is why those feet are called Tirth Pada. And Ganges is a place of pilgrimage where people go. They take and if they wash away their sins. That Ganges is emanating from the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Then Mother Devahūti is saying, Jivan api mratotsa. They are dead walking. Even though they are alive, they are dead. So this is how she is lamenting. And then finally he says, who is that person? Saham bhagavato nunam.
Saham bhagavato nunam.
Saham bhagavato nunam.
Saham bhagavato nunam.
Vanchita mayaya dridham.
Vanchita mayaya dridham.
Vanchita mayaya dridham.
Vanchita mayaya dridham.
Yat tvam vimuktidam prapya yat tvam vimuktidam prapya nama moksheya bandhana nama moksheya bandhana. So now she then ultimately says, my dear Lord, that is me, sa aham. Right? I feel I have been cheated. Vanchita mayaya drinam. Your maya, your illusory energy, I feel I have been cheated by your great maya, by your illusory potency, illusory energy. Why? Yat tvam prapya vimuktidam. After attaining you, who can give me liberation? And he even offered to give her the liberation. Remember that line? I will give you the transcendental vision to see those achievements. But instead, she asked for sense gratification. I mean, that is for us, please, once again, no? Not for her. That is a transcendental pastime. They are already liberated. But this is for us. Right? And we all have gone through that process. We all make those mistakes again and again. That is the whole point. Yes. Yattam vimukti dam prakte, because you who can give me the liberation. Instead, because of my attachment, bandhanat, attachment to the sense gratification, I did not make any endeavor, na moksheya bandhanat. I did not make any attempt. My dear Lord, I have been cheated by your maya. So that is the lamentation. Now I'll just quickly wrap it up. Lamentation, something to think about. Once somebody asked me, we spoke about this, Prabhu asked me, Prabhu, is lamentation good or bad? I said lamentation is good and bad both. Lamentation, that is why he told her that I can make you free from lamentation. Right? There are examples of lamentations in Shastra when that lamentation becomes the reason for liberation. And sometimes the lamentation becomes the reason for bondage also. So with what mood we want to lament, right? Dhritarashtra, he was always lamenting that if my mother hadn't closed her eyes, I would not be born blind and I would have become the king, and then my son Duryodhana would have been the king. He was always lamenting like that. But there is Bharat, who is also lamenting. Bharatji is lamenting, oh, because of me, my Lord Shri Ram had to go to the forest. And that itself became the reason for his soul. He's got such a great devotee. He became such a great devotee of Lord Ram. Bharatji. Lamentation. That's what I'm trying to say. Vrajvasis were lamenting. Maharaj Dashrath was lamenting that why did I give those boons to Kekai? But he got such an exalted position. Ram Ram kahi, Ram kahi, Ram Ram kahi Ram. Tanu parihari Raghubir virah Rao gaye usulas. He was always saying Ram, 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 Ram. So because of me, Lord Ram had to go to the forest. So he says he was chanting Ram, Ram kahi, Ram kahi, Ram, Ram kahi Ram. Tanu parihari, by leaving this body, Raghubir virah, in the separation of Lord Ram. He was lamenting in the separation of Lord Ram, and Rao as in King Gaye Usuradham. The king went to the award of the demigods. In the mood of separation, he was lamenting that because of that. So yes, lamentation is not bad. Yes, you can lament for Krishna. You can lament, oh my dear Lord, I'm not able to serve you. I'm not able to perform my devotional service. I'm not able to chant. This is actually ang of bhakti. Not as in main angas, but this is a sub-ang of bhakti. Lamentation. Hari Hari Bifale Janam go ainu Manusha Janam Paya Radha Krishna na bhajiya Janiye suniye bis khainu. So what Narottam Das Thakur is saying is that Hari Hari Bifale Janam go ainu. This should be our lamentation. Oh my dear Lord, my dear Hari. Hari Harati Papani. That Hari who can take away all the sins. Dusht Chittair Api Smrita. Even if a dusht, most sinful person, even if you remember once, that Supreme Lord, Hari Harati Papani, he can take away all your sins. So that Hari, I did not remember. Oh my dear Lord, my life has gone waste. Bifale, failed. I've been failed. I failed myself. Janam going. I have wasted my whole this life and I have failed. Why? Manusha Janam Paya. I've got this human birth. And in this human birth, what have I not done? Radha Krishna na bhajiya. I haven't served Shri Radha and Krishna. And then Janiye Suniye. Knowingly, knowingly I have eaten poison. You know, you seeing every day. Every day we are seeing people are dying. Ahani ahani bhutani gachanti iha yamalayam. Ahani ahani, every day bhutani, living entities, are going to Yamalaya, going to abode of Yamraj. And Shesha Sthavaram Icchanti. And who are remaining here, they want to stay here permanent. Permanent residency, citizenship. You know. Once I asked a lawyer, the lawyer was telling me, it was a good analogy he gave me. I mean, he's no more, he passed away. Very nice person. He was also actually mayor of our, Campbelltown Council. I'm talking about in 2000. So we were we met once and we were talking. And there was one person who came to him. He said, oh, my neighbor is troubling me. And he said, what does he do? He said, look, they got trees falling over the fence and the branches are coming. And then he said, who is your neighbor? He said, an old person. He said, oh, leave it. An old lady, why do you want to mess with them? He said, no, it's creating a lot of problems for me. And then the lawyer, this statement happened. He told him, look. And then he was asking, what is my right? He said, from the bottom of your fence to the tip of the sky, that land belongs to you. He said, as per law, in that block, if the fence is going from here to the tip of the sky, the land belongs to you. Anything coming on this side, you have a right to cut it off. So you should be able to tell that. I sometimes think about it and then contemplate. That lawyer is gone, that person is gone. What? So that's the point. Ahani ahani bhutani gachanti. Every day, every moment, people are dying. Every moment you hear there is a flood in Libya. Libya, it's a desert country. It's a desert country. There they're having flood. Thousands of people washed away. Bodies are coming on the seashore. Thousands of people. People are showing photos, crying. Look, I've lost full family. So we are very fortunate, Prabhuji Maharaj. That's the point. Let's have that lamentation. My dear Lord, how can I serve you better? How can I improve my surrender? How can I benefit from the association of, saintly people, from the books of Srila Prabhupada? Let's have that lamentation. And that will help us get better and get better. And then our heart will be cleansed. Vidhunoti suhradas saram. He will clean the heart from inside. And when that purity comes, then the mercy will flow. Okay, so we'll stop now. Kaltra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki. Okay, Kavita Mataji, Seema Mataji, we'll take your leave now. We'll do Aarti here. Thank you so much for your association, for sincere.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki.